Hello, welcome to today's video where we talk about how to build yourself as a leader and establish your leadership identity as a young athlete. I want to talk about an important distinction today: imitate versus emulate. I see a lot of players trying to imitate certain movements. Kobe Bryant's patented fadeaway, which was actually imitated from Michael Jordan, or the swing of Aaron Judge. We can imitate these things, especially with today's modern technology. We can kind of break down these movements very specifically to try to copy or imitate what these great players do. Now, there's still a level of ambiguity to it. You're never going to completely imitate the exact movement or replicate Aaron Judge's swing. He's 6'7" and 200 and some pounds, whatever his physical attributes are. I mean, he's obviously a special kind of athlete. But you can, to an extent, imitate his movements and his swing pattern, or MJ and Kobe's fadeaway, the way they perform the move. So a lot of times I see young athletes breaking down distinct movements, shot patterns. I'm a lacrosse coach, so I see a lot of my players imitating the shots that they see and the dodges and moves that they see online, which is all great. But when it comes to leadership, you can't be an imitator. You have to be more of an emulator. And so what's the difference? When we talk about imitating versus emulating, imitating again is copying that exact movement, where emulating is more about looking and admiring the great qualities of a great leader, but yet still putting it into your own perspective. I study great leaders all the time, and I try to patent a lot of my philosophies, practices as a leader and a coach off of others. One of the people that I follow and have great admiration for is Greg Popovich. Now, Greg Popovich is the most successful NBA coach of all time. I coach lacrosse. So of course we're talking apples to oranges. I can't imitate Greg Popovich directly because we're talking about two different sports. But even more so, my personality, I'm not Greg Popovich. I can't be Phil Jackson. I can't be Bill Belichick or some of these other great coaches that I admire and respect greatly. But there's always a difference because more than anything, leadership style is still very personal. You have to be yourself. So emulate, more by definition, really means to kind of pattern off of the great qualities that you see and respect and admire of these other people. But do it in a context that you are still yourself. And also to emulate, the idea is always kind of the lofty goal of that is to kind of even be better than whoever you emulate. Whether I'll ever be better than Greg Popovich as a leader and as a coach, probably not, quite honestly. But I like to set my bar high, and I like to emulate what he does, what he did, how he handled his San Antonio Spurs teams throughout 20 plus years coaching, and just how he handled people. That's really what I want to emulate. Is everyone talks about not the type of basketball coach he was, but the leader of people, how he cared about his players first as people more than anything. That's what I try to emulate in my own personal journey as a lacrosse coach. Because when you try to imitate as a leader, it often comes across as disingenuous. You're not that exact person. So I encourage you all to, as you develop your leadership, you can imitate certain physical characteristics and physical moves on whatever sport you play, but when it comes to leadership, it's more about emulating. Find those leaders that you respect, admire. You can garner some principles off of them, learn from how they do things, but you have to be yourself so that you are genuine in the way that you lead. As always, I have a link down here in the description. If you want to work one-to-one, we can continue to build it where I coach and develop your leadership. Also, check out this playlist that I have where we talk about, from a coach's perspective, some of the things that I see how to build your leadership as a young athlete. So check out all of those other videos. Stay tuned for ones in the future, and as always, thanks for watching.